Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Seitze. This week's short Vort is dedicated to Zecher Nishmas Benjamin Zev Schmeltz, Benji Schmeltz, who passed away too early as a Bachar. This week's Devar Torah is adapted from the Chidushei Harim, Rebbe Efraim Meir Alter, the first Gerer Rebbe. He lived in 1789 until 1866. And the Sefer was compiled by his grandson, the Sfas Emes, who he raised after the passing of the father of the Sfas Emes, who is Yehuda Aryeh Leib Alter. He lived 1847 until 1905. We're going to skip to the end of the parsha and Perek Chaf-Hey, Pasuk Yud and Yud Ches. And there we have the topic of Amalek. It says, Zachar asher asa lecha Amalek. It says, remember what Amalek did to you. Lecha is a singular language. Shouldn't the Pasuk have said Lachem, you, plural to the Bnei Yisrael? So the Gerer Rebbe answers that what the Pasuk is telling us is that the power of Amalek to be successful in defeating the Jews was only against individuals. They couldn't destroy the klal. Therefore, the power worked were the individuals who sinned and were kicked out from the Ananei HaKavod, and therefore they became vulnerable to the attacks of Amalek. But those who were united in a group that were safely ensconced inside the Ananei HaKavod, the protective cloud, they could not be defeated by Amalek. I think this applies to as a lesson for someone who has a spiritual risk, that we shouldn't leave individuals to be alone. Someone's off the derech, have them join a protective group, have them with unity. Don't leave them vulnerable to the outside forces. Moving on, the next Dvar Torah from the Gerer Rebbe says that Asher Korcha b'derech, that Amalek met you on the way. Now it says in the Midrash Eicha that if they tell you, someone tells you Chachma b'Gayim Tamid, if there's wisdom amongst the Gentiles, you can believe it. But if they say Torah amongst the Gentiles, then don't believe it. Why is this? The Rebbe says that just like we have brains, Goyim have brains. Therefore, they can have wisdom. Therefore, they have Chachma. But when it comes to Torah and understanding Torah and absorbing Torah, you need a certain leiv, a certain heart that only the Jews have. Now, there's a connection between the heart and the moach, between the brain and the heart, and that's called a derech. And that's what the Pasuk is referring to when it says that Amalek met them on the way, Asher Korcha b'derech. Amalek's goal was to sever the connection between the Jewish heart and the Jewish brain. And that would have negative consequences. So we see today that we've got to work to protect the derech, to stay on the derech, and doing that is through unity and achdus and making sure that everyone feels safely part of the group. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.